Hi everyone, my name is Tony Huang, the founder of TechExecs Network National Chapters. Today is April 11th, 2013 here in Houston, Texas at the Houston TechExecs Chapter Roundtable. Today we have a great speaker, Randy Lakner, the CIO of Oil States International, and it's going to be a great event. So let's go grab a few people for a quick soundbite. Me is Randy Lakner. He is the CIO of Oil States International and our featured speaker this morning. Good morning, Randy.
Good morning. Thank you.
What are you going to be sharing with everyone?
Well, it's interesting. When I started this, I was just trying to figure out how I was going to run my current job in my current organization, and it's evolved into what is IT really today, and where are we going, and why are we doing what we're doing. So the presentation is really around what is IT, who owns it, is there an owner, and what do we do about the ownership of IT. And one of the things I like to stress is that I am an advocate of non-alignment of IT with the business, because I don't believe alignment's valid anymore. We are the business, or part of the business, so I don't use alignment very much. And I've recently talked to several other consultants and CIOs, and it's funny because most of us are of the belief that instead of making IT an alignment issue, it's really a component of the business, and how do we make that a viable value statement to the business. So that's pretty much what I'll talk about.
I noticed that you're traveling a lot to Australia these days.
I was 2 weeks in Australia. I'll be in Canada later this month. Our organization is global, but most of it is North American based. Australians big. We have a big organization out of Brazil and UK. And without disclosing too much, we will be expanding more in other parts of the world. It's wherever oil field services are, where energy services are, that's where we're going to be. We're trying to map a global IT organization to a semi-global business. And so some of the biggest issues we have now are in the areas of applications. We have a wide variety of applications because we do a lot of acquisitions. Acquisition brings in applications from a variety of sources. So we're trying to standardize on that. We're just beginning a project management office, program management office, so I'm staffing that up. We have a service group that's really global. We're trying to bring that to more of a fruition, and generally just trying to add value with a limited team. I don't have a very big team. For those of you who are football fans, especially in Houston, I liken my team to the Houston Texans. We're a really strong starting lineup, but if anybody gets hurt, I have an issue of going back. So I'm trying to supplement that work. So that's.
Last question for you. So for those people that aren't able to make it today, what are maybe two takeaway points?
Is that IT is really a business. It's part of the business. It should be treated like part of the business. So act like you're part of the business, and don't wait to come to the table. Just, if you have to, walk in. Okay, that's the primary one. The second one is that it's always about the customer. We're here to service the customer, and as you well know, it's making that customer successful is the whole primary mission. Okay.
Well, thank you so much for being our featured speaker this morning, and we'll look forward to hearing from you.
My pleasure. Thank you.
With me is Jeff Roberts. He's the CIO for Citus, a commercial real estate company. How are you?
I'm doing well.
Thank you for coming to TechExecs this morning. What do you think?
You know, I thought it was excellent. Good to spend some time with peers and trade some ideas about best practices and see what other companies are doing out in the industry.
So Randy was a little bit different type of CIO. How would you describe him?
I thought Randy was very entertaining and obviously a veteran of many years' experience and many different companies and situations. To me, he spoke in a very expert way about the challenges of managing a global IT organization, which is something that I share with him.
Was there something that you could consider as a takeaway for yourself? You learned something?
Yeah, I think he made some excellent points about relationships with the business, and made a statement about he doesn't really think about aligning IT to the business. He thinks of it as one thing. And sometimes the way we use words and the way we talk and think about things can make a big difference. And so I think I'm going to adopt that and have that as a better sort of mental framework for the way we think of IT in my company.
Thank you, Jeff, for joining us today.
Absolutely. Happy to do it. Thank you.
Welcome back, everyone. My name is Tony Huang, the founder of TechExecs Network National. With me is Debbie Ward, the IT Director for Heritage Texas Properties in Houston. She's also the chapter president here in Houston. How are you, Debbie?
I'm great. What a great event we just had.
What a great event. So what do you think about the energy level in that group?
I thought it was fabulous. I always love our events because they bring so many different people together. But today, our speaker, Randy Lakner, he just infused the room with humor and intelligence and really made his very critical points in a great way. And he himself, we didn't even have to pretty much do a roundtable because Randy was engaging the entire time. I love that.
Awesome. So Randy Lakner is the CIO for Oil States International. What did you learn today?
IT is the business. That's exactly right. And siloing ourselves away from business processes is ineffective and completely inaccurate, because in order for business to occur, it has to be IT. So I love that statement that he made, because we really are synonymous with the business.
So for those people not able to make it, what would you share some of the words about encouraging them to attend?
I think, as I say, every time we meet, when you come to these meetings, you will meet somebody or learn something that you didn't know when you walked through the door. And you never know in your future how the information that you learn or the person that you met may play a role to help you meet objectives. I think it's critically important.
So what's coming up next?
Up next, we have our Cocktails and Connections, the fun time each month that we do on April the 24th. We're going to be back at the Mark, which is a really popular venue for everybody right in City Center. So we're really looking forward to that. And then May, we're going to have Steve Haveman. I'm really excited about our roundtables because they have such a high energy to them.
Thanks so much, Debbie, for being a great chapter president, and we look forward to having you serve more for the chapter.
Thank you, Tony. I'm really, really enjoying it, and I love how we at TechExecs are involved even civically. So we're helping with
The Women's Center.
the Women's Center, which is tomorrow night at Blackfin downtown, and Missive went out about that yesterday, so of course, naturally, I'm going to be involved with that. So I'm very proud of our organization and what we represent. So
Thank you so much. Wow, that was a fabulous event that we attended today at the CIO and IT Leadership Roundtable here in Houston, Texas. Featured speaker was Randy Lakner, the CIO. With me is Neil England with Professional Alternatives, so all the way from Dallas.
All the way from Dallas. Had the longest drive today, and well worth the exchange. Had a great showing, and as usual, good, friendly, welcoming group. Had a lot of good topics to cover. Had some exchanges with some of the senior level IT people after the meeting here, and heard some really good positive feedback from them on today's meeting.
So Neil, what did you learn today?
Well, we had a great exchange regarding integrating the IT strategy with the business strategy, and Randy had a lot of good feedback from his experience with his new business on really aligning with the strategy and building elevator pitches with your IT group, preparing your IT teams so when they do interface with the operations staff that they could really make a positive impression from an IT perspective, and really taking a look at who owns IT really is much broader than we really thought. Everybody owns IT, and when Randy was talking about who's the customer, well, all the people that IT support, they become the customer. So it was good.
Good event.
Absolutely great. Well,
Definitely worth it for everyone to attend.
yes, yeah, lots of good feedback.
Thanks so much, Neil. And for those of you guys who are not able to make it to today's event, we'll looking forward to see you next time.